that is when the matches get good. We got right into stage striking and right into the loading screen. I'm already so excited. The schedule is looking so stacked, and what a way to start it off.
Yeah, I mean, before we swapped off to the other casters, we did talk for a little bit with AJ Moore and Bio, and AJ mentioned that we should be on the lookout, especially for Lily. Lily's been on a tear so far in 2023, and it's only going to keep on going. But I want to focus our attention real quick on Rayzigher and Gabriel, because they did wonders in 1v1s for South America just last weekend. They went so far, so deep into the bracket. I believe they also faced each other for elimination as well, and that came right down to, I believe, a game 5 to the wire. So partnering up together, it's kind of like that point in a video game. It's like when you partner up with Lance in Pokemon Gold and Silver. It's like you partner up with your rival, and like you go and defeat this bigger, more common enemy. And we're starting to see that right now. Ray actually loses the first stock so early, and Gabriel soon to follow. It's gonna leave Lily and Juniror on an island. They're doing such a great job bouncing each other out and taking down Ray's second stock.
Yeah, I enjoyed the speech, but it looks like red team's the boss right now.
Yeah.
Blue team definitely on the back foot, trying to fight back. It has been a rough couple of minutes so far. Oh, just back to back, and the pressure from red team not stopping either. This is a big opportunity here.
Yeah, and the big word there is definitely pressure, and we're seeing mounting amounts of it coming out, though. Lily does lose that first stock, so there is some breathing room coming out for blue team. Juniror is going to be in the midst of the battle, though. Oh, and out of nowhere, a big hammer to the face sends away that first stock. I'm worried about Ray, though, AG. Ray has been able to go toe-to-toe, take these 1v1s so adequately, but they're down to their final hit.
Yeah, it's tough. Just every slight misstep has been capitalized by red team. Every hit matters too. Ray just constantly trying to recover and failing, unfortunately. Oh, wow. What a read. Whoa.
Oh no, it's gonna be down to Gabriel's final stock. Luckily though, it's only game 1 out of potentially 5, but this is not the way you want to start the series out either. Ray and Gabriel, they just had a fantastic series starting out, but now this isn't really the best look going off of that heater.
Definitely not, but you know, sometimes you just have to slight misstep has take it, capitalize, and move on to the next. Just start thinking about those, stage bans. Start thinking about those legend swaps, and don't get too caught up in that first game. It is a best of 5 for a reason, and they might need it after that first game, but we'll see. I still have faith. We are so late in the bracket here. I have nothing but faith in every single team that is still in the running for the top 8 spot.
I mean, if you're a competitive player, a large part of bringing it home is really having faith in yourself. And I have no doubt that all these players do absolutely have faith in themselves here. But how do you combine the faith of 2 different players together to create the ultimate team? Okay.
That is a good question.
Dance party.
Good question. All right. So hopefully we'll get some answers here. We're finally getting into it after a bit of an interesting start, but turning into these, 2 1v1s, big opportunity here. Blue team wrestling the stage control from red team. Kind of the first time we've seen them in the driver's seat.
Yeah, this is really good tempo setting. Gabriel swapped away from their original legend, back to a new skin of Bodvar. But the problem is, though, well, actually, there isn't really much of one yet. Gabriel's been out of the battle quite a bit, though luckily into the air, Juniror flies away. Lily has taken a lot more damage for this first stock already from what we've seen in the first minute or so, compared to almost the entirety of game number 1. And this is good. I like the setups coming up from Ray and Gabriel. They're giving themselves more breathing room, and they're not necessarily going for just chip damage.
No, definitely not. A couple of big swings, and they are connecting. The hits are looking good so far, and blue team with an early lead.
Yeah, this is looking good. Still maintaining that first stock, even going high near the blast zone. Ray and Lily duking it out. They're looking for those 1v1s, but again, the space control of what we're seeing from red team is definitely a lot more centered towards like that mid-vertical angle, like in the air, but not quite above everything else in the battlefield. They're just looking for anyone hopping around. They're really good about catching out raw, straight jumps.
Right, and that is definitely like one of the favored approaches too. So just kind of taking up that space, and you have to watch out for Lily catching the approach. Watch out for that big rocket lance too. It's very tough. I think red team's finally finding the groove here after, it was a pretty good start from blue team, but definitely going to make some adjustments here as well.
Oh no!
Okay.
They're working against each other. Lily on one side, Ray on the other, applying so much team damage. But what matters most is the chip away for the enemy. Gabriel, Ray both lose their second stocks. Lily and juniror, they're looking clean here, but it takes a single signature to possibly tie up the tides and bring it to an even game.
Jeez, and just as I said, they found some footing. What a quick response from Red Team already. Looking to take these last couple of stocks too, but Blue Team finally fighting back, getting the stage, trying to put that pressure onto the left side, and really good hit. Nice.
All right, high into this guy though. juniror does lose that second stock. Lily, well, maybe not quite so much surviving on the second, but first stocks to work with here at the end of game 2. Gabriel, a little worse for wear, but I'm looking at Ray, only now approaching orange, still has a lot of life inside of them. But Gabriel, not so much. They fly off the platform, they get back onto the stage. A great spot dodge away from juniror, not once but twice over. No, but 3 times isn't the charm, and Ray is the only one left. The evade, the dodges, the weapon throws, the ground pounds too, but the ledge guard might be too much. Oh no, another weapon throw misses.
So much pressure. Finally, Ray finding some route back to the stage. Still just gonna go to the ledge, try and find another good route. Wow, great defensive option.
Yeah.
Tries to go for the turnaround, but there's just so much coverage.
These dodges were so clean, and the weapon throw makes it too, but a little boop at the very end from juniror. It's gonna solidify game number 2. I like the improvements of what we're seeing from Blue Team from games 1 to 2, but there's still something lacking, and I don't necessarily think it's the team chemistry. It's almost kind of falling back to what we talked about in Europe, where we had seen this big change from a Koji pick into a Tezca, and that made a world of a difference, but it came out too late. This time around, Gabriel's gonna be swapping away from the Hattori pick, from the Bodvar pick, excuse me, into Hattori. So now you get the spear to work with, and I think this could be a great option for a little bit more poke damage and kind of alleviate Ray and Gabriel from battle for a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good pick too, and maybe hopefully take some of the pressure off that rocket lance is putting on from juniror. We'll see though. It's gonna be tough. Still, they have a lot of room to make up for. I mean, Red Team just looks so comfortable in those first 2 games. I can't imagine that they don't feel comfortable going into game 3 too. Let's see. Oh, okay. Nice little scramble so far.
All right.
Interesting. Okay.
A lot more grounded play. And Lily goes back into the air, has to evade their way back down. Even without a single weapon, they do manage in the midst of pretty much the whole horde of everybody left alive. They do acquire the spear, but they can't go for the setup with their signatures just yet. They're attempting to go for the D-Sig. Again, has not connected, though I do like the attempts. Everyone but Gabriel, so high in damage for this first stock, that as long as the double Hattoris keep going against each other, it should be a deterrent, but no, Lily's the first to lose their stock.
Yeah, just a bit of a scuffle. It somehow ends up, after the dust settles, Blue Team with the lead, but definitely a very, very even match. It really was just a couple of those big hits connecting perfectly for Gabriel. Unfortunately, though, a little bit of payback.
Oh, Gabriel dancing with the devil, still managing to stay alive. Great air dodges, not once but twice over from juniror. It's up to Ray now, but they're taking so much damage. Lily on the ledge guard, but everyone on Blue Team stuck off stage. It's up to Ray to get rid of Lily, to help Gabriel get back on, but they still have their first stock. If anything now, oh, these free signatures are looking so good. At least a little bit of damage applied to juniror before Gabriel falls, but juniror looking a lot worse for wear from game number 1. Trying to survive here with just so little damage left on the second stock. They need to make sure they and Lily can stay relatively even. Ray is off platform though, a down air. It might be even worse. One ground pound sends juniror away, but Lily manages to survive. Not by much though. Maybe an overextension. They can't grab back onto the ledge and they fall too.
Oh my goodness, I love the pressure, even from long range. Ray with the weapon throw to keep the pressure up on the ledge guard led to some very important stocks. Finally, we get some room to breathe for the Red Team, but Blue Team still looking good. Gabriel holding on to that stock. Oh no, really dangerous spot for everybody.
Oh no, yeah, I was getting nervous. Someone surely should have fallen there, but no. juniror's playing the risky game again. A gravity cancel Nensig doesn't connect. It almost does for a little bit, but no, not to write home about. Speaking of writing home, Gabriel has not once but twice overstocks to work with. They fly off stage. but they're able to survive. The ground pound from Lily doesn't connect, but juniror's there for the follow-up. These follow-ups from both members of each team have been so pivotal about maintaining the success of their rounds. Oh, but the recovery goes up, and all that's left now is juniror, a simple signature away from closing this out.
So important. Blue team had so many fantastic follow-ups like you were talking about. Gabriel gets hit off of the stage with one big hit from juniror, and then Ray was right there to respond. It was so very smooth, so wonderful, and a great adjustment coming in just in the nick of time.
Yeah, and I love the adjustment of going away from the Bodvar pick into the Hitori was really smart. The hammer just was not, and again, we see this a lot in very fast-paced 2v2 games where there's gauntlets and guitars or what have you around. The hammer takes such a long time to set up. It really does, especially if you want to go for a combo starter or even a string. Even if it begins on stage and ends off, there's so much startup time. But the spear does not have that, but still has the spacing that the hammer can at times really acquire. juniror is going to find the same exact issue though with the Ulgrim, swaps away into the Zol pick, and now instead of having that somewhat slow lance that has a lot of offstage potential, you're kind of moving away to a smaller but heavy-hitting cannon. They also has that offstage potential that can also be extremely devastating for, well, in situations where you do have it and not lose your first stock.
Right. And I think that might be a nice adjustment too, because Gabriel was holding on to the stocks in that last game, so maybe just a little more of that strength we can lead to some earlier stocks, and Red Team can try and keep up with the pressure that Blue Team has discovered.
And that discoverability is so important, AG. Everyone on Blue Team down so low on their first stock, but Lily also loses out on their first.
Oh, what a pickup too. Oh my goodness. And a reversal from Lily, such a good find right there. And what would look like a terrible spot for juniror somehow turns it around. Now Red Team looking really good after a rough start.
It has been a rough start, but the cannon is in juniror's hands. They're trying to goad somebody on Blue Team off the stage, and it looks like someone took the bait. It's Gabriel! No! They just got their second stock. Oh no!
Already on the last one. Not what you want to see. This is such an important game for the Blue Team. They cannot let it slip away.
Oh no. And if I'm Gabriel, not only did they play very cautiously, you have to make sure Ray can be protected too. But the overextension, taking down juniror, there was a martyrdom there, no way.
So very unfortunate, but this could be a huge response. Gabriel with a big pickup, one stock across the board, and a lot of damage, but it's on Gabriel, who we were just talking about, was so good at holding on to those stocks in the previous games. We're gonna need it right now. Okay, nice. Lily just breaking it up and then going back to the 1v1, really good. Okay, wrestling for center stage.
It really comes down to juniror and Gabriel. Whoever loses this next stock might very well determine the series. But Lily attempts to go for the offstage play with the sword. There it goes. Okay. A sider comes by and Gabriel's out for the count, possibly for the series, possibly for winter chips, and they are! Ray falls! Lily and juniror continue on, and there's a reason why in between games these two were hyped up so much. Lily, an absolute anchor for the team. juniror being allowed to overextend and had a great chance to redeem themselves by swapping to the Zol pick.
And there we see in the replay that slight overextension, a little bit of a gamble, almost working out for the Blue Team, but just not quite. It put them in a really rough spot here, and although Gabriel did respond with that stock, it just ended up going the way of the Red Team. The Zol pick kind of working out in exactly that instance. That big hit to send them off and force that 2v1 situation. Really rough spot to be in for Blue Team. Some good stuff to Red Team, and you can see the numbers also kind of tell a similar story. Big damage coming in from Lily, and juniror not too far behind.
No, I think juniror just had a lot of potential when it came to pressure. And while Lily was really good about the executions and straight up taking down stocks, I think it was juniror who had a more of a silent impact throughout that series. We saw a lot of times where a lot of members on the Blue Team were displaced because of that lance, and even early on the axe. But once, it was identified that maybe this Ulgrim pick was underperforming, there was no, okay, well, let's wait a game and see. Let's bring it to game 5. No.